Hi everybody, it is Dr. B coming to talk to you about Toolkit Tuesday and Unflappable, how smart people quit overthinking, ditch the drama, and thrive at work. If you haven't already picked up your copy, you can head on over to my website at drbridgetcooper.com or onto Amazon and pick your copy up there and send it to a colleague or a boss or a subordinate or a friend, anybody that you care about in your life who needs to be unflappable. So, today's Toolkit Tuesday, I'm going to talk about coffee. Why am I talking about coffee? Well, we'll get to where the connection is to Unflappable. So, all my life, I have hated coffee. When I was growing up, the two things that my house smelled like more than anything else were coffee and beer. So when I smell, which is so much part of your tasting, coffee or beer, I think of growing up. And that's not always a positive, happy thing. So in my mind, I've created this connection, this story that I connect to my childhood with coffee and beer, that I don't like coffee and beer. The other reason is because when I think about those two things, those are two things that the people around me loved. And so to differentiate myself from them, those are things that I don't like. And I'm also not good at math, and they were all good at math. So you're seeing the connections. All right, so what does this have to do with Unflappable? Let's do with Unflappable because there's a tool in this toolkit called contracts. Contracts basically says that we come to understand ourselves, other people, situations, relationships, work environments, all of those things because of early experiences that set our mind to what those things mean, what our place in our world is, all of that. So I signed a contract. I like to call them contracts because I think they're things that we signed, we agreed to believe before such time as we really had an opportunity to examine whether or not they were going to work for us long term. And we can also break them when we realize how they're operating in our lives. So I have a contract that says that if I like the things that my family likes, if I'm like my family, whatever that might mean, then I am like my family. And that's not always a good thing, right? So not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's what a lot of contracts do, is they get a very rigid way of thinking about something. So my contract of being like my family, therefore I'm like my family, says I better not like coffee. So why do I even want to like coffee? Why is it even a thing to try to like coffee? Well, because I drink Coke Zero, and please don't deluge my inbox with why I should not be drinking Coke Zero. I know all the health reasons why that's a bad idea for me, but I do it anyway. Anyway, so I was at the coffee shop, my beautiful coffee shop that I love to go to, and I was there. I always drink tea, I don't drink coffee. And I was there today, and the barista has been hell-bent on getting me to like coffee. Well, why not, right? I'll be there more often and I'll buy more things. And so he brought out this little concoction, beautiful little top as they do. And I gave it a whirl. I figured, you know what? Maybe it's time to rip up that old contract in this other way that I've been doing in all sorts of ways in my life. So I thought maybe I'll tackle it with coffee. And so I tried it, and it was not too bad. Gave a little bit of a kick of an aftertaste. It's gonna take some training of my taste buds to figure it out, but maybe I'll end up liking coffee as a result. So with that, if I'm willing to go and try to drink coffee and learn how to break that old contract of being like my family means being like my family, I urge you to do the same with some contracts in your life. So where do you find those contracts? I argue that any place in your life where you have discomfort, dissatisfaction, there is probably a contract underneath it. If you need some help investigating that, again, there's a guide to doing that in Unflappable and also in Pain Rebel, or you can reach out to me for mentorship, accountability partnership, and to do a deep dive into that insight to figure out where your old contract might be, and I can help you do that. So with that, head on over Amazon or my website, pick up your copy of Unflappable, and go examine those contracts, break them where they seem to be standing in your way of satisfaction, or in my case, good health. And with that, go be unflappable. Thanks. Bye.